Soft piano plays. A single spotlight flickers over an old microphone. Voiceover. They called him the janitor boy. Barefoot, dusty, and invisible. Every night, while cleaning the music hall, he'd pause, close his eyes, and hum Hotel California, not for the fame, but for the mother he'd lost, who used to sing it to him under the stars. One evening, after a grand concert, the hall was empty, except for one forgotten guitar left on stage. The boy hesitated, then touched the strings. His trembling fingers found courage. He began to sing. The melody floated through the silent hall, raw, aching, pure. Unknown to him, a famous producer had returned to collect his jacket, and stopped, frozen at the doorway. The boy's voice carried pain, beauty, and truth, echoing like a prayer. Tears filled the man's eyes. He whispered, "Who are you?" But before he could step forward, the boy heard footsteps, panicked, and ran into the night, leaving behind only a mop, and a sound that would never leave the man's heart. The echo lingered long after he was gone. An echo that was about to change everything. Days turned into weeks. The producer couldn't forget that voice. He played recordings, auditioned hundreds, but nothing came close to that sound. One rainy evening, he returned to the same hall, hoping the boy might return. The janitor shook his head. He left. Said he couldn't afford the rent anymore. The producer left his card behind: "If he ever comes back, tell him the world needs his song." Miles away, the boy, Eli, was now sleeping in an old bus stop, clutching his mother's broken locket. When he saw a flyer for a Dream Singers competition, his heart raced. Entry fee, $50. He had $2. That night, he stood outside the venue, listening from the shadows as others sang. A guard noticed him and said, "You've got that look, come back when you can pay." Eli smiled weakly. "Someday, sir, you'll hear me from inside." The producer, meanwhile, began producing a charity concert to honor unknown voices. He didn't know, the very boy who inspired it was still out there, unheard. But fate was patient. And one day, destiny would hand Eli a second chance, in front of the whole world. It was a cold afternoon when Eli helped an old man who dropped his groceries near a cafe. "Thank you, son," the man said kindly. "Do you sing?" Eli blushed. "A little." The old man smiled. "I manage the sound at the charity concert tomorrow. We're short on warm-up singers. Would you?" Eli hesitated, but something inside whispered, "This is your moment." The next evening, he stood backstage, barefoot again, clutching the same broken locket. When the host called, "Unknown warm-up singer, Eli," the crowd murmured. He stepped into the light. Then came the first chords of Hotel California. His voice rose, fragile at first, then powerful, echoing through every soul. The audience fell silent, some wiped their tears. Even the producer, sitting in the front row, felt his heartbeat stop. He turned to the host and whispered, "That's him." When Eli finished, the crowd erupted. But before applause died down, Eli whispered into the mic, "I sing for my mother. She believed even the poorest voice can reach heaven." The hall went still. And in that stillness, hearts began to break. Beautifully, backstage, the producer rushed forward. "It's you, the boy from the hall." Eli froze. "You remember me?" With every breath since that night, the producer said, tears in his eyes. you changed my life." He placed a contract in Eli's trembling hands. "The world will finally hear you." But Eli hesitated. "Sir, I'm not ready for fame. I just want to help kids like me, those who never get heard." The producer nodded slowly. "Then we'll make your dream their voice." That night, they recorded Eli's first official track, a live version of Hotel California. No auto-tune. No makeup. Just truth. When it was uploaded, it went viral overnight. Millions watched. Comment sections filled with crying emojis, stories, and words like hope, faith, and "I miss my mom." Eli didn't chase fame, he awakened humanity. And as his name spread, so did kindness. Donations poured in for homeless children, music schools, and struggling families, all under the banner, Eli's Echo. But destiny still had one final surprise waiting. Months later, Eli returned to the same dusty street where his old apartment once stood. Children ran up to him shouting, "Eli! We heard you on TV." He smiled, hugging them tightly. "Never stop singing your truth." He walked to the small graveyard nearby and placed a white rose on his mother's grave. "Mom, your boy finally sang it for you." A gentle wind carried the sound of distant church bells. He closed his eyes, whispering a line from the song. "You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave." At that moment, the producer appeared behind him, holding a small gift box. Inside was a restored golden locket, with Eli's mother's picture. "We found it during renovation of the hall." Eli's hands shook. Tears streamed down. "You kept her memory alive." The producer smiled softly. "No, son, you did." As the camera pans upward, Eli stands between the graves and the stars, where sorrow meets legacy. Years later, during a graduation ceremony at a music school named the Eli Foundation, hundreds of young students stood holding candles. The principal announced, "This place was built from one boy's voice, a voice that reminded the world that dreams don't need wealth, just heart." Eli, now older but still humble, sat in the front row, tears glistening. On stage, a little girl stepped forward and sang Hotel California. Her voice cracked halfway through. The audience waited, until Eli stood and began singing with her. The hall filled with emotion. Students, parents, even teachers wiped their eyes. As the song ended, the crowd rose to its feet. The little girl whispered, "Mr. Eli, will they remember me too?" He smiled gently. "If you sing with love, the world will never forget." Camera zooms out. His voice fades into the night sky, mingling with echoes of his past, the same haunting, beautiful melody that once saved him. Voiceover, closing line. Some voices fade, but the ones born from love, echo in hearts forever.